If you love Paul Harvey stories and the rest of the story, subscribe now. Now the rest of the story. It was a part-time job slapping hamburgers at Billy Skilger's diner across the street from the high school. 16-year-old Les, a struggling C student at South High, needed all of the part-time jobs that he could juggle. Les was there behind the counter this one day when he noticed a well-dressed man lingering suspiciously at the candy display. After 15 or 20 minutes of this, Les finally stopped what he was doing and said, "May I help you?" Well, the stranger walked up, leaned on the counter a little, and uttered the words that would ring in the boy's ears forever after. "My name is King," the man said. "I am your father." Well, Les tried not to show what was happening to him inside, the sudden silent cacophony of confusion, disbelief, and panic. "My father is at work right now, sir, so unless there's anything else I can do for you..." But Mr. King interrupted the boy. "You mean, young man, your mother never told you?" Well, quite in fact, Les's mother, Dorothy, had told him. About 3 years ago, she had explained that the only father Les had ever known was not his father, but instead Dorothy's second husband. She had married the first time when she was only 20. She had barely embarked on her honeymoon when the man who had promised to love and cherish her was humiliating her, threatening her, beating her. The abuse lasted nearly a year before Dorothy fled, bundling her newborn infant in her arms and leaving forever. And so it was through clenched teeth that young Les, standing behind the counter at Skilger's diner, answered tersely, "I'm working," and he turned away. But Mr. King beseeched the boy, saying that he needed to talk. Mr. Skilgers, who could not help overhearing, said, "Go ahead, kid, I'll finish up here." So Les, his brain still reeling from this unexpected intrusion into his young life, went off with the well-dressed stranger. They got into a shiny new Lincoln automobile in which an attractive woman was waiting. She was introduced as Mrs. King. The couple had been married for 10 years, the stranger explained, and they were parents of a small daughter. Their home was a grand ranch near Riverton, Wyoming. Over lunch in the town's nicest restaurant, Mr. King came quickly to the point. He was sorry about the lost years that stood between him and his son. He wanted to make up for it somehow. "Come live with us in Wyoming," Mr. King said. "I promise you'll have everything you ever wanted." But Les remembered hearing about another promise this man had once made and quickly broken. Then he remembered another man, a poor paint salesman who had married his mother, loved her as she deserved, and more remarkably still had loved and encouraged young Les as the best of fathers would. The boy's choice was a simple one.